Thumbs up when you're ready.
I'm good. Hello and welcome to Columbus, Ohio, and at Bill Davis Stadium, the Michigan Wolverines look to claw their way back after a 7-3 defeat here last night. Looking to move back up in the Big Ten standings as the Big Ten tournament swiftly approaches. You're tuned into WCBN Sports, your home for Michigan baseball. My name is Kelin Flynn. I am joined by Zach Linfield up in the broadcast booth. And we're just a few moments away from first pitch here at Nick Swisher Field. Zach, Michigan really struggled in that game last night against the Buckeyes. Some things are going to have to change today, and that's shown in our lineup. 5 straight seniors lead off the order today for head coach Tracy Smith in the one hole. 1-2 is per usual. Cody Jefferson, Ted Burton, Jimmy Obertop up into that 3 spot. Jack Van Remortel, the first baseman, batting 4th. Tito Flores, the left fielder, in the 5 spot. 6 is Mitch Voigt. 7, Joe Longo. And Gabe Sotrace, the catcher, moves up to the 8 spot with Greg Pace Jr., the freshman, batting 9th today for Tracy Smith. Noah Renard gets the nod on the bump for the Wolverines. Zach, what is the key today for Michigan to get back on the right track and right this ship here in Columbus?
Kelin, it's good to be along with you today. And I think for Michigan, it's going to be strong starting pitching. Yesterday, Connor O'Halloran, it was a bit abysmal that he didn't get off to a good start. But Noah Renard in his last time out against Northwestern, he lasted 6 2/3, allowed 6 hits. He allowed 2 earned runs, struck out 6. He only walked 2. And he's a relatively new name to the starting rotation. But with the conference tournament starting on Tuesday, this game can really decide a lot as far as seeding goes and as far as how Michigan plays tomorrow's game, which is a bit of an earlier start at 2 o'clock.
Michigan currently 6th in the Big Ten. They have locked up that top 8 spot, so they are for sure going to be heading to Omaha for the Big Ten tournament. It all just now is kind of where do they fall in that range. With the loss yesterday, they are out of contention for the number 1 overall seed with the Maryland victory as well. But they can still move all the way up to 2 with some help, but can still also drop as far as 8 if things don't break the right way for Michigan. For the Buckeyes today, the order is led off by the center fielder Trey Lipsy, the left fielder Matthew Gravelin in the 2 spot. Marcus Ernst, the third baseman, batting 3rd, and the catcher Cole Andrews batting 4th. Mitchell Oakley and Nick Irwin go 6-7, and it's the first baseman Caden Kaiser in the 8th spot. A new addition to the order, designated hitter Tyler Petterini batting 9th. And the lefty Isaiah Coupe makes his return to the mound today against Michigan. Number 34 in Scarlet, tossing some warm-up pitches out here early. Zach, for the Buckeyes, what do they need to do to keep this momentum going in a rivalry series that they don't really have any ulterior motives other than they just want to beat down their rivals to the north?
Yeah, you took one of the words out of my mouth, and it's a rivalry series. You've got a chance to put Michigan all the way down at the 8th seed in the Big Ten tournament if Ohio State's able to take all 3 games this weekend. And they would need some help from other teams across the conference, but they're not looking at the other teams across the conference. They're playing here at Bill Davis Stadium in Columbus, Ohio, and they've got a chance to take 3 games in this series with Michigan because you think about it. Today, if they beat Michigan in their best effort with Noah Renard on the bump, I don't think Michigan's going to throw out Jacob Benner, throw out Chase Allen tomorrow. They'll likely save their better arms for the conference tournament. So, I mean, in one way of thinking, today could be a good or a bad thing for Michigan, even if they lose the ball game.
Yeah, like you said, again, Michigan has locked up that top 8 spot. They're going to be making the trip to the conference tournament next week. But like you said, if Michigan loses today, then that question creeps in. Well, at what point do you just say, all right, we're going to save our best arms for the conference tournament to try to put ourselves in the best position possible to be successful in Nebraska? Still just a couple of minutes away here at Nick Swisher Field. Wind blowing from home plate out to center. The big American flag waving in the wind as Jeffress steps into that left-handed batter's box. The first pitch from Coupe is going to be inside for ball one. Coupe, a lefty, delivers the 1-0. That's off the dish. 2-0 now to Jeffress. Cody Jeffress recorded 1 hit and 5 plate appearances yesterday. As again, Coupe can't find the zone. 3-0 now to the senior shortstop. The 3-0. And that one finds the zone for a called strike.
Umpires today with Michael Schultz behind the plate, we get a bit of a quicker strike call than we did with David Gill yesterday.
And another called strike. Jeffress thought he got ball 4. We saw that yesterday with Jimmy Obertop. Thought he had a called ball 4. Instead, ended up striking out. The full count pitch. That's going to be launched into foul territory. And it's hauled in for out number 1. Easy play for the third baseman, Marcus Ernst. So Michigan can't get anything going despite the 3-0 count to start off for Jeffress. That brings up Ted Burton, the second baseman, who's been really swinging the bat well lately, Zach.
And Ohio State was superb defensively yesterday and expect the same today.
First pitch, chopped foul into the netting right above the Michigan dugout for strike 1. Coupe works from the right side of the rubber. Or excuse me, the left side of the rubber. Next pitch in off the dish for ball 1. The 1-1 delivery. Swung on and missed. A big cut there from Burton to put the count at 1-2. Burton taps the plate twice. Swings that bat above his head. The 1-2 is going to miss wide for ball 2.
He's had a lot of patience as of late. Let's see where he goes in the future.
That's going to be ripped into left center, and that's going to drop off the wall. Burton rounding first. He'll be into second with a slide, and that's a lead. The 13th double of the season for Ted Burton, and Michigan gets something going early with an extra base hit from their second baseman.
Well, that's just a good job of being aggressive in a 2-2 count by Ted Burton. Number 5. Get a chance to take a fastball right over the middle of the plate. That's a mistake by Coupe, and Ted Burton will make him pay.
That'll bring up Jimmy Obertop. He homered twice yesterday, was all the offense we saw from the Wolverines. First pitch finds the inside corner of the zone for strike 1. Obertop making that return back from injury. Really had it going yesterday. Swings on the second pitch, and it's chopped foul into his shin. Going to take a second to walk it off.
Saw something similar happen with Jonathan Kim yesterday, where he fouled it off his front foot, and we know Kim was kind of dealing with something last weekend against Northwestern. He made his return yesterday, and now he's out of the lineup.
A big change there for Michigan. The star freshman, Jonathan Kim, like you said, Zach, not in the lineup today. 0-2 now to Jimmy. Swung on and missed. He got him with the breaking ball. That's good for out number 2 as Obertop is sent back to the dugout. I'll bring up Jack Van Remortel, the first baseman.
First baseman, number 51. Jack Van Remortel.
We saw Michigan strand a number of runners on the base paths yesterday. In danger of starting off today on the same trend.
There was a stretch yesterday for Michigan from the 3rd to the 7th inning where they left 8 runners on base.
First pitch from Coupe, called strike 1. Coupe takes a peek at that pitch comp. Sets himself. Takes a peek back at Burton and delivers. Can't find it. 1-1 now to the senior Van Remortel. Burton with decent speed in there at second. The 1-1. Check swing. And they're going to say he went around.
That was a really good pitch from Coupe. He decided to go breaking ball. It was rolling into him righty. And if he's able to come through the back door all day long on the Michigan hitters, it'll be a lengthy start for Coupe.
1-2 now after first base umpire Jason Stidham said he went around. That breaking ball finds the zone. Van Remortel strikes out. Looking in Coupe. Strands Ted Burton at second. Michigan can't push any across in the top of the first. That'll bring up the Buckeyes. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back for the bottom of the first in just a few moments. Welcome back to Bill Davis Stadium. Michigan strands Ted Burton at second in the top of the first, and that will bring up the Buckeye bats.
Buckeyes, number 28.
On the bump for Michigan, it's Noah Renard, the senior. Back-to-back great starts from the righty. 7 1/3 against Minnesota, only gave up 2 runs, and 6 2/3 against Northwestern, again giving up 2 runs. They'll have to deal with Trey Lipsy, the center fielder, to start off for Ohio State. First pitch called strike 1. Lipsy in his 5 at-bats, 1 hit. Struck out once. 1-1 now to Trey Lipsy. And that's going to be just off the plate, ball 2. Renard's 2-1 is going to be lifted into shallow left. That'll be hauled in for an easy out. Tito Flores with the grab.
Michigan's outfield was super busy yesterday. They were running all over the gaps. And Jonathan Kim looked good out. He said a field lucky. Greg Pace Jr. gets the call today.
And Greg Pace Jr., another talented freshman in this class for Michigan. The highest rated recruit that the Wolverines brought in this offseason. Matthew Gravelin, the 2-hole. First pitch called strike again from Renard. The big difference from what we saw yesterday early from Connor O'Halloran is that pitch is going to be lifted into center. Pace running back to the wall, and it's going to bounce off the wall. Pace still chasing after that, Graveling rounding second into third, and that's a triple for Matthew Gravelin. Bounced off the wall. Pace couldn't haul it in, and it was the right fielder, Joe Longo, that made his way all the way over to rifle it in to Jeffress at short. Pace ran into the wall, and it took him a minute to get his bearings back. Marcus Ernst now steps up. He struck out 4 times yesterday in his 5 at-bats. First pitch, ball 1, the 1-0. Chopped foul into the netting. And extra base hits continue for the Buckeyes as Gravelin has a triple to get things going here in the bottom of the first inning. And that's going to be ripped foul off the bat of Ernst. So 1-2 now is the count. Bernard settles in. Fires away, and that's off the plate. 2-2 now on the third baseman for the Buckeyes. Ernst swings the bat over his shoulder. The 2-2 again, can't find the zone. Count is full.
We saw a couple of times yesterday that Ohio State was willing to square to bunt, especially with runners in scoring position. But with 2 strikes and a full count here, it's going to be full swinging away for Ernst, and it's a big out to get for Renard.
Renard sets, fires on the full count. That is swung on and pounded to right field. Longo looks up, and that is gone. A 2-run blast puts the Buckeyes on top early. Off the bat, that was a no-doubter. Ernst struck out 4 times yesterday, rights the ship with a moonshot there.
Number 12,
And this series has been all Buckeyes through 10 innings. Cole Andrews, the catcher, now due up as he takes ball 1. And Zach Andrews was phenomenal behind the plate as you watch this ball 2 sail by from Renard.
Yeah, we had a conversation yesterday that both Cole Andrews and Gabe Stotrace were phenomenal behind the plate. Blocked pretty much everything that came his way. Gabe Stotrace did the same.
The 2-0, that's going to be lined in a diving grab from Mitch Voigt. How about the reigning Big Ten Freshman of the Week? Flashing the leather there.
Yeah, it's called the hot corner for a reason over there, isn't it?
Absolutely. Mitch Voigt lays out fully Supermans to haul that one in. Gets a nod of approval from his pitcher, Noah Renard. Surely saves a base hit. Left-handed batter's box next. Takes ball 1 to get things started. The 1-0. And that'll slip behind Stotrace. Ball 2.
Hey, remember what I said in the pregame? The starting pitching for Michigan was going to have to be good to get out to a good start today, but it just seems like Ohio State's got an edge right now that they're playing, and Michigan just lacks it.
Kazmar rips one to Burton at second, fields it cleanly, flips it to Van Remortel, and that'll end the frame, but not before a 2-run blast from Marcus Ernst
2 runs,
gets the Buckeyes on top.
no left.
We'll be back for the top of the second here on WCBN Sports.
We'd like to love
So as we head to the top of the second, Tito Flores steps in for Michigan. A double got things started from Ted Burton for Michigan, but the Wolverines were unable to convert. Coupe's first pitch can't find the zone, ball one. Coupe sets and fires. Swing and a miss there from Flores. He wanted that one. 1-1 now to Tito Flores from the hand of the junior Coupe. 2-1 balls in the dirt. The 2-1 from Coupe. Called strike on the outside corner. The 2-2. Big swing and a miss as Flores is sent down. Coupe with his third strikeout already today. That'll bring up Voigt, the reigning Big Ten Freshman of the Week, with a phenomenal grab there in the bottom of the first. They'll look to get things started for Michigan at the plate. Coupe delivers and gets another swing and a miss. The 0-1 is low for a ball. 1-1 now to the freshman. Coupe fires as that one's going to be laced into left, but Ravelin camps under it, and that's out number 2. 2 up, 2 down as Joe Longo, the the right fielder today, will step up. Longo back into the lineup today. Coupe delivers. Finds the zone there. Coupe has been dialed in early.
Yeah, and it's nice to see Joe Longo back in the Michigan lineup because he's pretty much been out since Jimmy returned.
Big cut there from Longo. Can't make contact. 0-2 in a quick hole. The 0-2 from Coupe. Longo lays off, ball 1. Coupe sets fires on the 1-2. Again, can't locate it. Longo lets back-to-back balls slide by. 2-0 Buckeyes. 2-2 count, 2 down at the top of the second. The delivery from Coupe, swung on and missed. Boy, is he dealing here early. That'll end the inning. Michigan, no answers for Isaiah Coupe through 2.
No error, none left on base.
We'll be back for the bottom of the second. Don't go anywhere. More Michigan baseball coming up. Welcome back to Bill Davis Stadium. Buckeyes on top 2-0 here as we head to the bottom of the second. Mitch Oakley will get it started for Ohio State. 1 for 3 yesterday. Drew a walk as well. First pitch from Renard off the plate, ball 1. Renard delivers the 1-0 and again can't find the zone. Ohio State came into this series with only 6 conference wins and has looked dominant so far against the Wolverines. The 2-0 sneaks in for strike 1. Again, 7-3 Buckeyes yesterday. Only Michigan offense was from Jimmy Obertop. He had 2 home runs. Oakley chops it to Van Remortel at first. He'll call off Renard and tag the bag himself for out number 1. Nick Irwin now steps up for Ohio State. Irwin was the lone Buckeye in the starting lineup held hitless yesterday. First pitch from Renard is upstairs. 1-0 now to Nick Irwin, the second baseman. Just under 300 hitter on the year as he swings out of his shoes to chop that one just back into the net. 291 hitter, 24 RBIs on the year. Been a nearly every game starter for this squad. Lets off on ball 2 from Renard. One down, 2-1 to Irwin. Big cut there from the senior, but he can't make contact. 2-2 now on number 5 in Scarlet. Renard sets and fires, and that'll slip past Sotrace. Count is now full. Buckeyes in their scarlet tops today, white pants with a red stripe along the seam. Michigan rocking the navy today with the maize accents and maize lettering, gray pants. Renard, the payoff pitch. That is sent into center. Pace will camp under it for out number 2.
Up next for the Buckeyes, number 21. Thanks for big fit. And
2 up, 2 down as Renard settles in a bit here in the bottom of the second. Caden Kaiser now steps up for Ohio State. The junior Kaiser, a .222 hitter on the year. The first pitch from Renard, and that's fouled off toward the Ohio State dugout. Another foul ball there makes the count 0-2. The 0-2 pitch upstairs and off the dish. 1-2 now on Kaiser, the first baseman. The 1-2. Can't find it. 2-2 now on Caden Kaiser. Kaiser 1 for 4 yesterday. And again, lifts that one foul that'll head toward that Buckeye bullpen outside of left field. Kaiser staying alive in the count here. Renard takes a peek at that pitch com. Sets, winds up and fires. And that'll be popped straight back over our heads here in the broadcast booth. So we'll run the 2-2 back again. Kaiser with the bat over his shoulder and tries to work a slider and can't find the zone. Count is full now on Kaiser. Swings the bat over his shoulder. Renard sets, fires. Fouled off again. That looked like it caught Sotrace awkwardly there. Home plate umpire Michael Schultz will walk the new ball up to Renard, give Sotrace a minute to settle himself. Full count, 2 down here in the bottom of the second, 2-0 Buckeyes. Renard, the delivery. And he walked it. That'll bring up Tyler Petterini.
Designated hitter.
Petterini, the designated hitter in the 9th spot today. Saw one at-bat yesterday in a pinch hit situation. I'll step into that left-handed batter's box. First pitch can't find the zone from Renard. 2 quick outs here in the second, but then a walk worked by Kaiser. That'll bring up Petterini. 1-0 now to the designated hitter as he rips that one into right, and that's gone. Another home run to right field from the Buckeyes. This time it's Tyler Petterini. It just sneaks over the wall, stays inside the foul pole. Not quite the blast that Ernst had, but gets over the wall nevertheless, extending the Buckeye lead to 4.
Yeah, just a mistake by Noah Renard. Another fastball he left on the inside middle part of the plate. And no matter where in Division I, a Big Ten player is going to make you pay with a pitch like that.
That brings Trey Lipsy back up to the plate. He takes first pitch for strike 1. No home runs from the Buckeyes yesterday. They've got 2 through 2 innings already. And that's going to be ripped through the gap. Base hit for Trey Lipsy. Renard couldn't get a glove on it to knock it down. And it'll sneak past a diving Trey Burton.
Now heading for the Buckeyes.
So a quick single from the center fielder Lipsy brings up Matthew Gravelin. Gravelin tripled off the wall in center in his first at-bat today, as extra base hits pile up early for the Buckeyes. Renard delivers upstairs for ball 1. The 0-1 here to Gravelin. Again, misses high. 1-1 now to the left fielder. Again, ripped a triple off the wall. That was a really hard hit ball. Hit that about 390, 395. One, 2 now after the swing and a miss. And he got a punch out there for Renard. Oh, they're going to say 2-2 now. Gravlin just tips that foul. So Gravlin swings and misses there. That'll end the inning. Michigan with work to do here as we head to the top of the third. You're tuned into WCBN Sports, your home for Michigan baseball.
Tested, tested, tested.
Can you hear me? Oh, okay. One to Sotrace is going to be lined into the left. That'll get down for a base hit. So Michigan with one on here in the top of the third. That'll bring up Greg Pace, the freshman. Pace from Detroit Edison. Seen limited opportunities in the starting lineup this season. Trying to make the most of an opportunity here. Trying to provide a spark against the Buckeyes. He'll lay down a bunt that goes just foul. So Pace will head back to home plate, and Sotrace will jog back to first. Walker Cleveland, the first base coach and pitcher for Michigan, will have a word with him. Coupe, the 0-1. Swing and a miss there from Pace. 0-2 now on the center fielder. Coupe delivers off speed, and he punches him out. Got him on the breaking ball. Isaiah Coupe has been fantastic here for the Buckeyes.
Grant leadoff hitter number 12, shortstop, Cody Jeffrey.
Cody Jeffress now steps up for Michigan. The only person that's had an answer, the only two that have had answers for Coupe are Burton and Sotrace. Jeffress steps in. Takes a called first strike. Isaiah Coupe, 2 1/3 innings of work, only giving up 2 hits, 5 strikeouts, no walks. That's excellence from the mound. Misses that time. 1-1 now. On Jeffress. Coupe peeks over to Sotrace at first. Fires away. Check swing. They're going to say he went around. One-two now on the shortstop, Cody Jeffress. Sotrace a couple of steps off the bag at first. The delivery. Swung on and missed. Isaiah Coupe is absolutely dealing here at Nick Swisher Field. On a sunny day in Columbus, Ohio, the lefty junior has found a rhythm. His sixth strikeout through 2 2/3. First pitch way off the plate to Ted Burton. Burton 1 for 1 with a double in the first. Coupe peeks over to Sotrace and fires. Burton takes again, 2-0. Over top on Michigan. The delivery from Coupe on the 2-0 finds the zone that time. That'll make it 2-1. Here comes Coupe. That's lifted into left. Jogging back to the warning track, to the wall, it's gone. Ted Burton continues his hot streak at the plate. His 13th home run of the season as Michigan cuts into that Buckeye lead with a 2-run shot of their own. 3 home runs early here in Columbus, all of them 2-run blasts. And it's Ted Burton that chips away at the Buckeye lead with a blast into the bushes in left field. That brings up Jimmy Obertop, who homered twice yesterday. First pitch is taken for ball 1. The 1-0 is low. 2-0 now to Obertop. And Ted Burton has had Coupe's number here early today. Coupe finds the zone there for strike 1. Not a lot of Wolverines have had success, but Burton has had some in a big way. A double and a 2-run blast. The 2-1. Obertop holds off, called strike anyways. Swing and a miss, and that'll end the inning. Obertop sat down on strikeout for the second time today.
2 runs on 2 hits. No pair.
But not before Ted Burton blasts into left field to put Michigan on the board. 4-2, Buckeyes on top. We're heading to the bottom of the third. You're tuned in to WCBN Sports, your home for Michigan baseball.
Presented
Welcome back to Nick Swisher Field here at Bill Davis Stadium. Marcus Ernst will start off the bottom of the third for Ohio State. He homered in his first at-bat today. Takes the first pitch for ball one. Absolutely cranked one into right field. 2-run shot. That got the scoring started for Ohio State. The 1-0. Off the dish, ball two.
And I'll tell you, one big thing for Noah Renard is able to see his team put some runs across the board. He saw a 4-0 deficit when he last left the bump, and then Ted Burton gave him 2 to get back in this one.
Big cut there from Ernst. Can't make contact. 2-1.
You'd imagine you're out there as a pitcher, and you're trailing by 4. In baseball, that seems like forever. But then you cut that lead in half. It makes it that much easier.
Takes a little bit of pressure off Renard as he misses outside there. 3-1 hitters count now for Marcus Ernst. Number 2 in scarlet for the Buckeyes. The 3-1. That's going to be blasted high into the air in left center. Flores ranges over to haul it in. So 1 down now. That brings up Cole Andrews, the stud catcher for the Buckeyes. We've talked about how excellent he is behind the plate, at the plate, batting .273 on the year, just under 40 RBIs, and a very disciplined hitter as he takes a first pitch called strike. Has worked 33 walks to only 32 strikeouts. That's excellent plate discipline. 1-1 to Andrews as he lets that pitch slide by. The 1-1 from Renard swung on and missed. That'll put Andrews in a 1-2 hole. Renard will take a step off the mound. Looks like there was a loose ball or something that they found in center field. Renard, the 1-2, gets a swing and a miss. Big strikeout there for 48. As he gets his second strikeout of the afternoon. That brings up Henry Kazmar, the freshman lefty. He had a couple of big swings of the bat yesterday. First pitch slides in 1-0. Kazmar rips that one. Van Remortel at first has it. Close play at first. They're going to say he beat it out. First base umpire Jason Stidham said he beat the throw. Van Remortel had to slide over to field the ground ball. Renard in a foot race with Kazmar to first. Van Remortel flipped it up to him, and it hung in the air just a half second too long as our umpire crew will gather in the infield to talk this one over. And they're going to take this one to replay review.
The old VAR, huh?
Really close play at first.
It looks close. We've got our Big Ten Plus monitor to our right.
That's really close.
By the time that Noah Renard had the ball, he kind of had it tucked in his palm. I think he might be out.
Wow,
I think he's
that's
out,
tight.
Kelin.
From my look, it looks like he's out, but
I mean, that's the slimmest of margins. And I don't think this is a tie go to the runner type situation. If Noah Renard's toe really is on the front corner of the bag, on the inside part of the foul line, I think they're going to give him an out here.
and that would
That would do it for the inning.
because that would end the inning in really get Michigan on track here after the Buckeyes in both the first and second innings pushed 2 across via home run. That's got to be a huge potential confidence booster for Noah Renard to get through the inning 1-2-3 after his offense provides him with some run support the inning before. So it's Bryce McCalla and David Ewell that are taking a peek at the monitor.
The home plate umpire wouldn't go under there. And then the umpire that made the call is also not allowed to go under. We'll call it the hypothetical hood here. We can't see the umpires right now because they are tucked beneath the grandstands here from Bill Davis Stadium, right behind the Block O.
Sotrace peeks back like they might be coming out here. They walk out, awaiting our decision, and they're going to say he's safe. It was David Ewell that gave the signal. So Kazmar's awarded first base. That brings up Oakley, the right fielder. Oakley grounded out to first in his only other plate appearance today. First pitch in for a called strike.
That's a good response from Noah Renard. Just got to get one over the plate, get a strike in the count, and start early with 2 outs. Try and roll one here and get out of the inning.
Renard delivers the 0-1. That's outside the zone for ball one. 1-1 now to Oakley. Oakley, a left-handed senior, stands in there. Takes a hack and can't find contact. 1-2 now with 1 runner on first. 2 down.
Renard, it's fastball slider change, and he's pretty much just been a 2-pitch pitcher so far, and I figure he'll go back to the breaking ball at 1-2.
That's going to be ripped to the shortstop, Burton. Burton delivers to Van Remortel. Van Remortel able to barely keep his foot on the bag there. But nonetheless, Michigan out of the inning unscathed. So it's 4-2 through 3 as Michigan cuts the Buckeye lead in half. Don't go anywhere. More Michigan baseball up next here on WCBN Sports.
They will have 15 seconds to name as many baseball movies as they can. If they name more than 10, they will go away Buckeye prize. Ready, set, go.
A League of Their Own, Sandlot, Major League, League of Their Own,
That's 15 seconds.
Okay, Moneyball, Sandlot, Field of Dreams, and that's okay, Moneyball, Sandlot, Field of Dreams.
Congratulations, you beat Henry's number of 3 and are going home with a Buckeye prize pack.
Welcome back to Bill Davis Stadium. You're tuned into WCBN Sports. My name's Kelin Flynn. Alongside me, Zach Linfield. Michigan down 4-2 here as we enter the top of the 4th inning. Jack Van Remortel due up for Michigan to get things started. He's in the 4 spot today. He struck out looking in his first plate appearance. Isaiah Coupe has been dealing today for Ohio State. First pitch called strike 1. Michigan's source of offense, a 2-run jack from Ted Burton into left field. He brought home Gabe Sotrace. And it's the 0-1. Misses way high. That's the first pitch I think we've seen get behind Cole Andrews today, and that was well above his head. Coupe takes a peek at his pitch comm. Van Remortel digs in, swings the bat above his shoulder. Coupe sets, fires. Inside, 2-1 to the senior Van Remortel. Again, inside, 3-1 now to Jack Van Remortel. Second baseman Irwin with both feet in the grass. Corners playing a couple steps behind the bag. Big swing and a miss there from Van Remortel. That'll bring the count to 3-2. Coupe has really worked his way in back into a lot of counts today. We've seen him go down 3-0, 3-1 a couple of times here and get some outs. The payoff pitch to Van Remortel. Chop foul into the Ohio State dugout. We'll do it again. Outfield playing pretty normal depth. Van Remortel digs back in. Rests the bat on his shoulder. Now twirls it above his shoulder as he just softly pops that one up. Coupe slides over and snags it. There's one down.
Brand number 22, the left fielder for Tito Flores.
So Coupe works back in the count to get the out there on Van Remortel. Tito Flores will step into the box for Michigan. He struck out his only other plate appearance today. Coupe fires. 1-0. Had our game time moved up just an hour today from 6 to 5 as Flores rips that one into left field. That's going to go all the way back into the corner. Rounding first and into second, standing up as Tito Flores. That's his second double of the series.
Now batting number 55.
Almost the same exact swing from yesterday with Tito, where it was just right down the third baseline. And he's got enough speed to make his way around the base pads. And that's an easy stand-up double for Tito Flores.
That brings up Mitch Voigt. Voigt 0 for 1 today with a flyout. Voigt lifts that one nearly the exact same spot in left as he did in his first at-bat for out number 1 of the inning, or excuse me, out number 2 of the inning.
It was middle in with Mitch Voigt, and it just kind of got in on his hands. It was a good swing. It's just he didn't get it barreled up. If he barreled it up, that one might be over the wall, but nonetheless, it too far inside. Result in the second out.
Coupe struck Longo out the first time he saw the plate today. Longo swings on the first pitch, pops it into left center, and there's out number 3. Lipsy calls it in. Lost his hat on the way. So Michigan will strand another runner at second as we head to the bottom of the fourth.
Michigan.
Buckeyes due up next. You're listening to WCBN Sports, the home of Michigan baseball.
Fans, be sure to stick around after the game for the show. It will take place shortly after the conclusion of tonight's game. I got him. Leading off for the Buckeyes, number 5, the second baseman, Mick Wynn. And Mick going.
Nick Irwin will lead things off for Ohio State in the bottom of the 4th. Renard's given up 4 runs through 3 innings. A couple of home runs have the Buckeyes up top, 4-2. First pitch chopped foul. Irwin flew out to center, his lone plate appearance in the 2nd. The 0-1 is upstairs for a ball. The 1-1 from Renard. And that one can't find it. 2-1 now to the second baseman, Irwin.
It'd be nice to see Noah Renard keep hurling out there because remember, Connor O'Halloran didn't go too deep into that game yesterday.
Upstairs 3-1 now to Irwin, and you're exactly right, Zach. Michigan really had to dip into that bullpen more than they're used to doing when O'Halloran toes the rubber. The 3-1. That's popped into foul territory. A couple of Wolverines converge on it, but no one can get there.
Well, it was the longest run for Tito Flores, but look at Cody Jeffress all the way out there. I mean, 2 Wolverines lost their hats. 2 lost hats and no out to show for it. But for Noah Renard, it loads up the count. Now he's got a chance to come at Nick Irwin with whatever he wants. He can go in there with a low slider, or he can try a blow-by fastball and try to draw contact. And I kind of would expect Noah to go with the fastball in here.
Only 1 walk dealt by Renard today. The payoff pitch. Swung on, and that's going to be ripped toward left, and it's foul. That one was really close. Landed about 18 inches left of the chalk there on the warning track.
Pretty similar swing to the leadoff swing yesterday from Cody Jeffress down the first base line. Almost the same exact spot in the first batter of the game. And that would have got Michigan off to a really good start. But, I mean, it was just foul. Like you said, about, what, a foot and a half?
The payoff pitch here from Renard. That's going to be chopped in the infield. Voigt gloves it, fires to Van Remortel for out number 1.
He just makes it look easy over there. He kind of was caught in the decision whether to charge it and field it on a short hop on his backhand or on his forehand. But he waited on it, took a chest-high bounce, and delivered a strike over to first base, and Nick Irwin didn't stand a chance.
And Mitch Voigt, the freshman, just looks like such a natural at the hot corner. He's going to be a staple there for years to come for Michigan. Ground ball from Kaiser, flipped to Renard, and that time Michigan gets the out. That was a similar play to the one Henry Kazmar legged out. Michigan clearly records the out there. So a quick 2 outs brings up Tyler Petterini, the designated hitter in the 9th spot today.
Yeah, really not much discussion on that out call, was there?
Not at all. No need to head under the hood that time. Petterini homered in his lone at-bat today in the 2nd. Just got one over the wall and right. First pitch called strike 1.
We were kind of wondering why Joey Aiden didn't get the call again today. He's only started, 1 game, played in 10.
That was his 2nd start.
Second start.
Petterini chops that one to Van Remortel. He'll field it cleanly and tag the bag himself. And that'll get Michigan out of the inning. Van Remortel's seen a lot of work at first today. But gets Michigan out of the inning there. Another scoreless frame from Noah Renard. We'll head to the top of the 5th. You're tuned into WCBN Sports, your home with Michigan baseball. Welcome back to Nick Swisher Field here at Bill Davis Stadium. We just saw the concession race, and I am thoroughly disappointed. That was not nearly as electric of a race as we saw yesterday. It was absolute carnage yesterday between popcorn, soda, and is hot dogs the other one?
Hot dog. Yesterday it was full WWE at the Black O behind home plate. The home plate umpire yesterday, David Yule, was just distraught yesterday.
Sotra's due up for Michigan. First pitch off the plate, ball one.
The way you begged me to talk about it yesterday after that inning, you're like,
I was
we got to talk
disappointed.
about it tomorrow.
I knew I was going to make a point to talk about it today as Sotrace ropes that one into center, hauled in by Lipsy. So one down by way of Sotrace. Michigan going to opt for a pinch hitter here.
Pinch hitting for the Wolverines.
It's Nate Voss, the freshman catcher. We saw him in the Xavier game starting behind the plate on Tuesday.
He's in there for Greg Pace Jr., so I wonder Michigan who they're going to toss out there in center field. Gotta wonder if maybe Jonathan Kim is up for the task.
4-2 ball game. Michigan still well within striking distance here. Here comes Voss. He'll line that one to second base, and that's an easy play for Irwin to make. So a quick out there on the pinch hitter, Nate Voss.
Number 12.
It was a really good-looking swing from Voss, but I think he just got it at the end of the bat. And if he would have barreled it up, it would have been, right by the ear of Isaiah Coupe, the Buckeye pitcher. Nonetheless, it was a deep play backhanded in the hole by Irwin, and he made it look easier, right?
Cody Jeffress now steps up to the plate for Michigan. Jeffress 0 for 2 on the day. The leadoff man for Michigan that's been so consistent this year. Quick 0-2 hole now for Jeffress. Coupe delivers, check swing. Stayed safe that time. 1-2.
You and I have been talking about it the last two nights, Kelin. There are a lot of radar guns stuck out towards Isaiah Coupe as they were last night with Ahmad Harajli.
And for good reason. He has been fantastic today. Can't find the zone that time. 2-2 now on Cody Jeffress.
They have been out from the first inning against Jeffress all the way here to the fifth inning against him.
That one's just going to be dribbled back to Coupe. This is going to be a tough play to make. He got him. Michigan goes down 1-2-3. Coupe rifled one across the diamond.
After fall for the Wolverines.
And Michigan gets nothing going that time. We're going to head to the bottom of the fifth. You're listening to WCBN Sports, your home for Michigan baseball. It's been all Buckeyes this series. Michigan down 2, 4-2 here at Nick Swisher Field, Bill Davis Stadium, in the heart of Columbus, Ohio. WCBN Sports in Buckeye Country. My name's Kelin Flynn. Alongside me, Zach Linfield. Bottom 5 as Michigan makes a pitching change. Noah Renard goes 4 innings, giving up 4 runs by way of 2 two-run blasts. It was Marcus Ernst and Tyler Petterini that gave the Buckeyes the edge here. Back-to-back scoreless frames from Renard in the 3rd and 4th as Ahmad Harajli steps in for Michigan. We saw him a little bit yesterday. Had some trouble location as Trey Lipsy, the leadoff man, steps up. Lipsy takes a big first swing back toward the wall. Longo looks up, it's gone. A first pitch home run for Trey Lipsy. And the Buckeyes continue to mash here in game 2 of this series.
Well, it's a home run friendly game, isn't it?
I mean, that's the 4th home run, and we're only in the bottom of the 5th. This one a solo blast as Lipsy at the top of the order, but Ohio State has really hit the ball well today. A number of extra base hits. Speaking of extra base hits, Matthew Gravlin steps up. He tripled in the first. First pitch, strike 1. So Harajli's got to settle back in and deal with Gravlin. Second pitch also finds the zone. Quick 0-2 hole for Gravlin. Third pitch in there. 1-2-3, got him looking. Ahmad Harajli with pinpoint location there. Bounces back with a strikeout. That'll bring up Marcus Ernst. We just talked about him. He homered in the first, a 2-run blast, and that was crushed into right field. Harajli sets and fires upstairs, ball 1. The 1-0 is lifted into foul territory. Mitch Voigt ranging over. Jeffress collides with him and holds on. Cody Jeffress and Mitch Voigt collide in foul territory, but the shortstop Jeffress hangs on through the contact. Taking a page out of the book of Luke Schoonmaker like he's running over the middle of the field. I'll bring up Cole Andrews, the catcher. First pitch called strike. Andrews 0 for 2 on the day. Was robbed of a hit by Mitch Voigt in the first. As the second pitch in there for a strike. Harajli, after giving up that blast to start off on his first pitch, is really pinpointing here. The 0-2 is going to be lifted into right. Ranging over is Longo, and that's out number 3. So 3 quick outs, but not before Trey Lipsy takes liftoff into right center. Buckeyes on top 5-3. Wolverines due up in the top of the 6th up next. You're tuned into WCBN Sports, home of Michigan baseball.
Making your tour, Ohio State.
Welcome back to Bill Davis Stadium here in the heart of Columbus, Ohio.
Hurry for second baseman number 3.
Ohio State making a pitching change. Isaiah Coupe's day is done after a tremendous outing. It's Justin Eckhart, the 6'2" righty from Sealy, Texas. Ted Burton steps in for Michigan. He's been the real bright spot as of late in this order. First pitch called strike 1. Eckhart can't find the zone there. 1-1. He transferred to Ohio State from Texas, where he played from 2019 to 2022. Made 5 starts for the Longhorns last season. The 1-1. That's line just foul on the third base line. The 1-2. And that's going to be spun and dribbled right back to Eckhart. He fields it himself as Burton trots back to the dugout.
Yeah, I think Ted got maybe 8 feet down the line. I think he popped it up, and I think that he popped it up foul.
I thought he
It
might
was just awkward the whole way around.
the way he hit it, it looked like it might have popped off his foot or something. It just
He
died
he
and
did a
spun.
360 and looked around for it, and Eckhart was on first base.
That'll bring up Obertop. Obertop watches ball 1 slide by with 1 out here in the top of the 6th.
Yesterday's swing was the Jimmy Obertop that we remember, isn't it?
Absolutely. 2 home runs. But that was all the offense we saw from Michigan. Was from the bat of number 5 in blue.
The only thing offensively that we've seen all weekend so far from Michigan is home runs.
No consistent hitting. 2-0 on Obertop. That's a called strike. Obertop DHing today. Eckhart sets and fires on the 2-1. That's going to be ripped up in between the gap in first and second. And Obertop has himself a single.
Yeah, Jimmy kind of says, please shift on me. He just shot it exactly where Nick Irwin should have been. But since he was shifting nearly right behind second base, there was plenty of room on the right side. And, Eckhart threw him a fastball on the outside part of the plate. And Jimmy was just late enough on it to where he could adjust to shoot it through the right side. And that's a single every single time for Jimmy Obertop.
That brings up Jack Van Remortel. Van Remortel takes ball 1. Obertop, not a big threat to steal on first. The 1-0 to Van Remortel. That can't find the zone. 2-0 now on the first baseman. Justin Eckhart last saw work against UNC Greensboro on May 14th. 3 clean innings of work, no hits, 3 strikeouts. There's a called strike to make it 2-1. "44 innings of work on the season for the Buckeyes. A 6.34 ERA and a 4-3 record. Van Remortel chops it into the Buckeye dugout, brings the count to 2-2. Obertop on first, 1 out. 2-2 count to Van Remortel. The pitch. Inside, Obertop's going to take off as the ball got past Andrews. It was an awkward grab for him to make, and it slipped out of his glove. So Jimmy Obertop, paying attention, scoots down to second.
Last weekend, Northwestern had a lot of trouble with Michigan on the base paths. And Jimmy, he had a delayed steal in the first game of the series, and it was like, where in the world did this come from?
Vandermortel rips another one foul toward the Buckeye dugout. Full count now on Jack Vandermortel. The payoff pitch from Eckhart as he takes a peek back at Overtop. Cut and a miss, sits him down. Vandermortel can't find it.
I think that's the change up there
Fielder,
from Eckhart. And it just had a lot of pronation off of his right arm, and it just cut. It cut low and into Vandermortel, and he saw it late. And on a changeup thrown that well from a righty, just below the zone, that's a pitch that's almost impossible to touch unless you wait on it. And he started to swing early, and he paid for it.
Eckhart delivers to Tito Flores. Flores with a double today.
Could use another one here, huh?
Would likely push Overtop around. 5-2. Buckeyes on top here in the top of the sixth. Eckhart delivers. That's going to be chopped foul.
Not a ton of speed at second base with Jimmy. But you'd figure over at third base, Ben Greenspan is super aggressive in the way that he tries to get players to score from both first and second base on shots to the outfield, even with Jimmy's speed at second base.
The 1-1 is going to be ripped way out of play. So 1-2 here to Tito Flores. The delivery. Low. Andrews does a great job of keeping it in front of him. Two down here with a runner on second and Jimmy Overtop. Top six. Michigan looking to chip away at that 3-run Buckeye lead. And Eckhart can't find the zone there. 3-2, count is full. Here's Flores. The payoff pitch, check swing. They're going to say he went around. That'll end the inning. A tough break for Michigan. Tito Flores tried to hold up, but he already went around. Punched out by Jason Stidham down the first base line. Michigan strands another runner at second. Top six due up for the Buckeyes. You're tuned into WCBN Sports, your home for Michigan baseball. Welcome back to Buckeye Country, WCBN Sports in Columbus, Ohio, the heart of enemy territory. There's Ahmad Harajli toes the mound for Michigan. First pitch off the plate for ball one to Henry Kazmar. Freshman shortstop beat out an infield single for his first hit of the day in the third inning. Second pitch misses as well. 2-0 now to Henry. Called strike 2-1.
Remember, the big thing for Ahmad last inning was, number one, he allowed the home run, but then he got right back in the count throwing a strike. I think it's going to be similar here. There you go.
Kazmar tees off on that one, and Marty will camp under it in left center for out number 1.
In comparison to yesterday for Ahmad, remember, he didn't record an out. He just couldn't find the strike zone. It's not that the Buckeyes were hitting him. He just couldn't throw a strike. And he had time to get warmed up, although it was a short appearance for Connor O'Halloran. He was down there for a while, kind of just tossing around because it wasn't Connor's strongest start. But he's seemed to dial in since that Lipsy home run an inning ago.
First pitch to Mitchell Oakley, strike 1. You talked about Harajli's outing yesterday. 8 pitches, 2 walks, and his day was done. The 0-1. As there's some action going on in the Michigan bullpen. Eamon Horwedel getting loose down there. Oakley chops that one just foul, just got a piece of it. 1-2 now on the right fielder.
See how effective Ahmad Harajli can be when he's throwing strikes?
Oh, absolutely.
He is super impressive when he's anywhere close to the zone.
That time misses well high, 2-2.
It was pretty similar with Coupe today and Harajli yesterday, where we would assume scouts down to our bottom right were flashing radar guns.
3-2, count is full now to Mitchell Oakley, and the guy, when you can throw hard like both of those guys can, that gets the attention of the scouts at the next level. The payoff pitch. That's going to be ripped into right. That is well over the wall into the parking lot. The 4th home run of the day for the Buckeyes. Mitchell Oakley gets in on the action as he rounds third and will stomp on home plate. A solo shot. Right field has been the Buckeyes' area of choice today. 3 home runs within that 20-yard area over there in right.
3 of their 7 hits today are the long ball.
4.
Yeah, that's right. 4 of them. My bad.
Lipsy, Ernst, Oakley, and Petterini have all gone yard. First pitch misses for a ball, and the second does as well.
Isn't that a little wild to think that 5 of the 12 total hits in this game are home runs?
Michigan cut the Buckeye lead to 2 as Nick Irwin, the second baseman, singles into right. That's a good piece of hitting there. Ted Burton cut the lead to 2 after Ohio State had a 2-run home run in the first and a 2-run home run in the second. A 2-run home run for Burton cuts the lead to 2, but then after 2 scoreless frames thrown by Noah Renard, Harajli comes up and gives up a solo shot in the 5th and now a solo shot in the 6th. 1 down, 1 runner on for Caden Kaiser. And Harajli struggles to locate there, ball 1. For 1-0. Upstairs from Harajli. Irwin with speed on first base. He's 7 for 7 on stolen base attempts this season. That we saw the Buckeyes be aggressive yesterday. The 2-0. Misses again.
Just inside with that one.
3-0 now to Caden Kaiser with one man on. Barajli sets and fires. That one finds the zone. As our umpires will give a quick pause. Kaiser stands in. The 3-1. Runner goes. And he walked him. So Trace popped up quick, but there was no need. Harajli couldn't find the zone as it looks like John Torella is getting loose as well in the Michigan bullpen.
Yeah, I think Tracy Smith, who's making the walk out there right now, is likely going to make the change. I think he's going to go to Amon.
I would expect that as well. Torella just started getting loose. Like Tyler Petterini due up. Petterini in the 9th spot. Didn't start yesterday, but has proven that he is dangerous. 2-run blast in the 2nd. So the entire infield will huddle up on the mound with Tracy
They're going to
Smith.
go to the pen here.
And Eamon Horwedel will jog down from the Michigan bullpen in right. Ahmad Harajli's day is done. And Eamon Horwedel will inherit 2 base runners from Harajli. And Kaiser on first and Irwin on second. We'll be back in just a moment as Horwedel gets ready to go for the Wolverines. Welcome back. Ahmad Harajli, his day is done. Gives up 2 home runs, one in the 5th, one in the 6th. That gives way to Eamon Horwedel. Horwedel will face Tyler Petterini first. Inherits 2 base runners from Harajli. First pitch is swung on and cut into foul territory. Again, Petterini with that home run in the 2nd that brought home 2 runners. And grounded out in the 4th. Petterini, more of a regular starter for the Buckeyes than Aiden, who we saw yesterday. 35th start of the season for Petterini, 1-1 count.
Pretty much a mainstay down in the 9-hole for Ohio State throughout the year. He's been flip-flopped otherwise for a couple of different Buckeyes, but been down there as of late.
That pitch is ripped toward the Michigan dugout. 1-2. Horwedel came in yesterday, didn't have a ton of work, but with 3 runners on, came in and got 2 big outs for Michigan to prevent that game from getting blown wide open. Pederini swings and rips it out of play.
And what feels weird too, Kelin, is that the game still felt like it was not a 7-3 final. It just didn't feel like that. It felt like Ohio State had dominated that game from start to finish. They got on top early like they did again today. And it just felt like Michigan was never really within reach, but in reality, they were. They were down by 2 multiple times, and then the game got to 4, and the Wolverines' offense went back to sleep.
The 1-2
Ooh.
misses low.
Did you see that delivery change from Amon? He came over the top there.
Got a keener eye than I do, Zach.
Well, maybe just because I know ball better.
I won't fight you on that. Not in this sport, at least.
It's the experience of being around for one more year, maybe. See if he goes back down to that lower arm slot on the 2-2. He did.
That one's lifted into the stands, and a tough catch for a young Buckeye fan. Can't haul it in. Tried to hand it back to a little kid who just tried to throw it
He
back.
just yucked it back towards the field.
For a second,
A Buckeye hit it. Why wouldn't you want to keep it?
That's what
They
was
gave it
saying.
right back to him.
I was looking to see if he accidentally handed it to a Wolverine that was in the stands. 2-2 on Pederini. You're right.
Over the top again.
Potential double play ball here. Jeffress has it at second, and they can't get Pederini at first.
Man, I'll tell you what, Kelin, I think they have 2 if Ted Burton steps on the bag. He wasted quite a bit of time trying to get the ball over to Jeffress. What's most important here is they got the second out, but now you've got to deal with Trey Lipsy in the top of the Buckeye order.
And we saw, Zach, in a number of situations like this yesterday with runners on the corners that the Buckeyes were almost always sending that runner on first. Pederini, 6 for 6 in stolen base attempts this season. I would not be surprised if he went here.
Tell you what, now I'm interested in watching this release from Amon Horwedel.
As the runner goes, Sotrace, no chance to get him that time.
Yeah, he dipped back down to that lower arm slot that we're used to seeing more of a sidearm submarine style approach from Horwedel, and it just glided way inside. I'm kind of surprised it didn't get a piece of Lipsy. And Sotrace, who was lined up on the outside part of the plate, had to basically leap over to make sure the ball didn't go to the backstop because it's a bit lighter here. There's padding. So the ball would get straight up knocked down rather than returning straight to the catcher, which would have scored a run.
2 runners in scoring position. 1-1 count now after that called strike to Lipsy.
You're seeing it now, right?
Oh, yeah.
Because that was a fastball from the lower arm slot. Whenever he's throwing from above, it's a fastball 100% of the time.
It's like a pure sidearm or like a 1/4.
Right.
That time was more over the top. And that's going to score a couple of runs. That gets all the way back to the warning track as Flores and Marty misplay it. That's going to be a triple from Trey Lipsy.
Michigan kid, man.
Lipsy a double away from the cycle here. He has a single, a home run, and we'll see how they score that.
I would imagine they're just going to give it as a genuine triple.
I would assume they'll give him the triple.
It's just because the Michigan outfielders, they didn't touch it. It went right in between the 2 of them. And I'm pretty sure it was just that Tito Flores missed it on his forehand. And then Jake Marty saw it skip under his glove. It didn't touch any of them.
So a bases clearing triple. Graveling up. He rips one to Marty in center to end the inning. But not before Trey Lipsy clears the bases with a triple to extend the Buckeye lead to 6, 8-2. It's been all Ohio State today, all weekend. You're tuned into WCBN Sports, the home of Michigan baseball. Welcome back to WCBN Sports live coverage of Michigan baseball. I'm Kelin Flynn. Alongside me, Zach Linfield. Mitch Voigt due up to start for the Wolverines. Justin Eckhart still on the mound for the Buckeyes. First pitch is fouled off. It'll be 0-1 now to Voigt. Voigt made a tremendous diving grab in the first from his third base position. As he rips that one into left center field, that's going to be a base hit. That's going to get all the way back to the wall as Voigt will be in at second standing up. So a leadoff double for Mitch Voigt gets things started for Michigan. And they need to go now in the top of the seventh. They're down 6-8-2. As Joey Velasquez will step in to pinch hit.
Joey Velasquez.
Velasquez in for Joe Longo, who got the start in right field over Velasquez today. And another change in the coaching department is Jacob Denner's coaching first. Looks like Walker Cleveland might be getting some work in the pen. We saw Torella throwing earlier. Now Cleveland getting loose. 1-0 to Velasquez. Runner on second and Mitch Voigt. Velasquez chops that one to second. He'll be thrown out at first, but that'll advance the runner. Michigan with their first runner on third base in a long time. Mitch Voigt has moved to third off of the ground out by Velasquez. Productive, though. That brings up Gabe Sotrace. Sotrace 1 for 2 today. Singled in the third, flew out to center in the fifth. Eckhart takes a peek at third, sets and delivers. Sotrace swings. That's going to be flown high up into the air. Hauled in and right. They're going to send Voigt. It'll be a easy, and he'll come back to third. He had no chance that time. Took a couple steps toward home, but quickly was called back by Greenspan. As we have another pinch hitter, Jonathan Kim, the freshman, steps up for the Wolverines. He did not get the start today. Missed the Northwestern series and the Tuesday game against Xavier. Started yesterday in center field, came out in the ninth, was pinch hit for, and now comes in to pinch hit here. That one's going to be lifted and dropped for a single in center field. So Kim comes in to pinch hit and is productive. In the 9 spot where Greg Pace got the start, then it was Nate Voss that came in to pinch hit. And then another change being Kim.
For Michigan, leadoff hitter number 12. Shortstop, Tony Jeffries.
So he came in to hit for what would have been Marty, who was a defensive substitution. So a lot of changes at the bottom of the order for Michigan. That brings up Jeffress. Kim on first. Jeffress takes strike one. Michigan scores their first run of the series that was not via a home run. 8-3 Buckeyes on top still. Top 7, 2 down, 1 on, 1-1 count for Jeffress. Justin Eckhart sets himself. Winds up and fires. Big cut there from Jeffress. Out ahead of that one. Got him with the off speed. That'll put Jeffress in a 1-2 hole. Eckhart looking to get out of the inning here. 1-2, 2 down. Fouled off. So Jeffress, the shortstop, stays alive in the count. 0 for 3 today. The typically productive Jeffress. Looking to get his first hit of the day. The 1-2 misses. 2-2 now with 2 down. Jeffress waving the bat above his back shoulder. Cuts and can't find it. Eckhart strikes him out, and that'll end the inning. Michigan gets 1 run closer, but it's still 8-3 as we head to the bottom of the 7th. You're tuned in to WCBN Sports, your home for Michigan baseball. Welcome back. Bottom 7. We're all stretched out here at Bill Davis Stadium as we have a pitching change for the Wolverines. Walker Cleveland on the mound now for Michigan. He'll relieve Horwedel. It'll be Marcus Ernst in that left-handed batter's box. First pitch from Cleveland bends in for strike 1. Ernst, one of 4 Buckeyes with a home run today. The 0-1. That's going to be swung on and driven into left center. Kim is called off by Flores, and that's out number 1.
I'll tell you what, and it's no shade to the other Michigan center fielders that have played today, but the outfield just gels so much better when Jonathan Kim is out there playing in center field. We saw the miscommunication between Tito and with Jake Marty an inning ago, and perhaps that's the reason that Jake Marty's no longer in the ball game. Maybe it had to do with the runner being on third base and in scoring position with a change to Kim.
First pitch from Cleveland to Cole Andrews. Can't find the zone. Andrews has struggled at the plate today, 0 for 3. The Miami, Ohio transfer.
He spent 4 years at Miami, Ohio.
Heads a couple hours north to Columbus to finish out his collegiate career. The 2-0. Finds the zone there. Cleveland locates it nicely.
I think the weather a bit different from Miami, Ohio to Miami of Florida. Just a bit.
I'd say so.
More sunshine in Ohio.
No. 3-1 now to Andrews.
And the breaking ball must have been just low there.
I thought that might get a he from Michael Schultz. The 3-1.
There it is.
And there it is.
Would that be your call?
Well, no, that would not be my call. That would not be my call.
Michael Jackson behind the plate.
What would your call be?
Strike.
The playoff pitch. He walked him.
Toss on the white gloves too.
To signal it.
Your walk-up song as the umpire is going to be Thriller.
That brings up Kazmar with one man on. Cleveland sets and fires.
It's a good pitch, man.
Not good enough. Ball one. Michael Schultz doesn't think so. The 1-0. That gets the signal.
Got the he.
1-1. Ripped foul. I judge umpires solely based on their strike calls, and the more they slur it to sound like he, the more I like them. I want to not even know what word they just said. 1-2, one down. Kazmar rips it to left. Flores snags it, and that'll hold Cole Andrews at first base. 2 outs now in the bottom of the 7th. Michigan down 5 here in Columbus at Bill Davis Stadium. Mitchell Oakley, another Buckeye that's taken liftoff today. The senior homered in his last plate appearance back in the 6th. What was a 3-run inning for the Buckeyes. First pitch bends in for a called strike.
You know, that just brings up like nostalgia. You played baseball growing up too, right?
Played a little bit of ball.
A little bit of Little League. Do you remember like a unique umpire strike call?
That was actually so long ago that I don't. And they're gonna catch Andrews in a pickle. They got him. He took off. They threw to first. He kept going. And they get him at second. A close play at second base. Brings in some boo birds towards second base umpire Bryce McCalla.
Puts Bill
Michigan,
Mosley out there to argue the call.
he's over there talking it over with Michael Schultz, who didn't even make the call. As he's reined in by one of his assistants.
I think they're going to go to the monitor here, Kelin. Yeah, that's Coach Allen out there for Ohio State.
And he made the call. And that was a really quick call. I really honestly thought he was going to be called safe. It looked like he was in there safely. But assistant coach Sean Allen, the pitching coach and the associate head coach for this Buckeye
He was the one that
team.
went out there and corralled Mosley.
So Cleveland is out there. They're
bringing the Michigan defense back out to the field. Now, remember, home plate umpire and the second base umpire are not allowed to go out there. He might be safe, Kelin.
My initial thought was safe too.
He's safe.
I think so as well.
Now, I think if Jeffress leaves his hand on the runner, that he might be out, that he slid past the bag, but he raised his glove right away to say, I've got it. And then he kind of ran off. I think he might be safe. And Tracy Smith having a conversation right now with the home plate umpire, Michael Schultz.
Now, I will say, Bryce McCalla was in perfect position to make that call.
Yeah.
He was standing. He had a perfect angle
safe
at it. And they're going to overturn it. So, again, it's David Ewell that comes out and gives the signal.
That's the crew chief of this crew.
So, Ewell says he's safe after review. Inning not done as Cole Andrews nabs a bag.
That was nearly perfectly done, though, by Walker Cleveland. The lefty held his right knee up in the air for just an extra moment, and then the runner took off. And he picked off over to first base, and I think Vandermortel fumbled it just a bit in his glove. And the transfer down to second base wasn't in time, and it was a high throw. If it was a low throw, he's certainly out. But the high throw and a good slide caused him to be safe.
0-1 to Oakley, and that's going to bounce in front of Sotrace, so Andrews is all the way down to third now. That could be a costly review for the Wolverines. 1-1 now with 2 down, and all of a sudden, Andrews is all the way on third base.
And what a series Cole Andrews is having.
Cleveland delivers and can't find the zone. 2-1.
And I will say for Michigan, they're going to need Walker Cleveland. Come the tournament in Omaha, if they expect to have a deep run. You're going to start O'Halloran, you'll start Renard, and then Denner. But who do you go to after that?
Cleveland might be that guy. Misses that time. Ball 3. 3-1 count now on Oakley.
You're going to throw Harajli, obviously. You're going to throw Horwedel, likely. I mean, Torella. But it's a little bit fuzzy come the bullpen.
And Oakley is beamed that time. No bad intentions from Cleveland. Just lost control, and
Curveball.
what would have been ball 4 anyways gets
Yeah.
Oakley cleanly.
And Mitchell Oakley saw it coming, and there just wasn't much spin. Walker kind of got on the side of that curveball instead of right over top of it on the horseshoe. He holds it pretty tight. Then it comes over through the side. He wasn't on top of the baseball. When you're not on top of it, you don't get the spin that you originally intend to have when you throw it, usually. But since he was on the side of the ball, it just didn't spin downward, and it just kind of spun sideways. And Oakley saw it, and he was like, okay, maybe take off a forearm hair.
That brings up Nick Irwin, the second baseman. 1 for 3 on the day with a single in the 6th. And runners on the corners for the Buckeyes. Again, they've been very aggressive in taking second base with this situation. The 0-1 in there for strike 2. Cleveland.
I think they're maybe a little reluctant to run on a lefty.
2 quick strikes here. And again, Cleveland almost got Andrews earlier in the inning. Cleveland pump faked over to first.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a pitch clock violation on Walker Cleveland because he didn't throw it over. He stepped off. An illegal disengagement from him.
The 1-2 runner goes, and it's going to be ripped foul. So we'll run the 1-2 back for Nick Irwin.
Just been a tough series for Michigan so far, man. They can't find their swing.
And the OSU bats have been red hot.
Yeah, Michigan hasn't found the strike zone very well.
Now Cleveland will throw over. We saw yesterday, I believe it was Horwedel that threw over a couple times, and some of the Buckeye faithful.
Yeah, it was Denner as a
It was
lefty.
Denner. Runner goes that time. Same situation. They've got him in a pickle.
They're going to score a run here.
And
That's
they catch
exactly what they
Michigan.
wanted.
Andrews scores. And they caught Cleveland just in the perfect spot where he throws over to first. Buckeyes push one across right before they tag out the runner in between first and second. Oakley, we're going to head to the top of the 8th. Michigan down 6, 9-3 here from Columbus. Welcome back to Bill Davis Stadium. I'm Kelin, Flynn, Zach Linfield alongside me. You are tuned into WCBN Sports coverage of Michigan baseball. Last regular season series of the year for the Wolverines down here in Columbus before they head to the Big Ten tournament in Omaha, Nebraska. We'll take a peek at some scores across the Big Ten. Purdue knocks off the Cornhuskers 7-3. That's a favorable win for Michigan. Wolverines currently down 9-3 here in Columbus. 5-3 Northwestern on top of Iowa. Maryland down 4-3 to Penn State. That's another one Michigan fans are keeping their eyes on.
Man, unfortunately for Michigan now, that one doesn't matter much.
Exactly.
If they lose this game.
With the potential loss looming here. Ted Burton steps up. One of the bright spots today for Michigan. Lifts it into right, and that's hauled in by Oakley. So, first pitch leads to a quick out.
Now back to the Wolverines, the designated hitter number 5.
And we've seen real good stuff today from Eckhart, Zach. He's come in and just get outs.
Yeah, it's been nice for Ohio State. They haven't had to use many arms in this series.
They really haven't. Obertop steps up. He was hot yesterday. Slowed down today. 2 strikeouts and then a single in the 6th. First pitch a called strike. Second pitch a called strike. Quick 0-2 on Obertop. Eckhart working quickly. Obertop digs back in. That over his shoulder. Eckhart delivers. Check swing, and that one misses. The American flag in left center field, gusting in the wind. That's clearly helped maybe push a couple of these fly balls over the fence. Punch out there on Obertop. He strikes out looking again. Got caught looking yesterday late in the game. His 3rd strikeout of the day today.
Yeah, Jimmy, ever since those 2 big swings for home runs, he's just been kind of reluctant to swing the bat. I think his strike zone kind of shrunk because he knows what he's looking for. Those 2 big swings were right in his wheelhouse, and I think he's kind of just shrunk his strike zone a bit.
Van Mortel takes the first pitch for ball 1.
Now, we really didn't talk about the fact that we nearly had a flyover yesterday during the anthem.
We did.
The,
We did. It was, I believe,
the airport's right here.
a Southwest jet gave us a flyover at the anthem.
Some flyover, huh?
1-1 now to Van Mortel. 0 for 3 on the day. Couple of strikeouts. The 1-1. Outside.
Pretty similar crowd to yesterday, though. A good crowd on hand. They got the memo that the game was at 5.
They did. We almost did it.
We almost did it.
Rung him up. Or excuse me. That's strike 2, not strike 3. 2-2 count with 2 down to Van Mortel. Froze him on that pitch there. Schultz with the call. That's going to be chopped out of play. Nice barehanded grab from Greenspan.
Ben Greenspan down there.
Coach
Been a while.
Greenspan. I would say flashing the leather for flashing the hand. I don't
Careful
know.
there. Don't want to get yourself in trouble.
2-2. That's going to slide low. Full count now on Van Mortel.
Kind of something that you and I were chatting about last night when we were at dinner after the game was like, what a time it is to be a sports fan. An underrated time is this late spring.
And he walked him.
I know you're a big NBA guy. The NHL playoffs are fun.
NHL playoffs are very
The
fun.
College World Series is coming up here soon.
I'm not even a huge hockey fan, but NHL playoffs are great. NBA playoffs have been awesome.
Are Tigers playing decent baseball?
The Tigers are playing decent baseball. We don't need to talk about the NBA lottery. Tito Flores, 1 for 3 on the day with a double. steps up with 2 down for Michigan in the 8th. Van Remortel on first. 6-run ball game here at Bill Davis Stadium. Buckeyes on top, 9-3. 4 home runs today for Ohio State.
Goes Sean Allen again. Kind of out of nowhere.
He
Well,
kind of
1-0.
really jogged out of the dugout there, not a slow walk.
Yeah, each of the last 3 misses really have been bad misses for Eckhart. They've got an arm getting loose down there. I think maybe it was just to get an extra 2 pitches in. I think that's Jake Johnson getting loose for the Buckeyes down in their bullpen. He warmed up for 3 different innings yesterday and never came into the game. Pitched really well against Michigan a year ago.
The 1-0
It's
can't
not
find
close
the
again.
zone. In what had been a fantastic outing today so far for Justin Eckhart, 2 2/3, only 3 hits and 1 earned run, 4 strikeouts to boot. Again, misses. 3-0 now on Tito Flores.
You got Mitch Voigt waiting on deck. You put Tito on, and maybe Michigan can get some kind of carousel moving, is what Tracy Smith is hoping for. There's a strike.
And that's the second time we've seen a Wolverine this series think they've got ball 4 for a late called strike.
Well,
Obertop struck out yesterday.
he was halfway down the first baseline, and David Ewell was like, come on back here.
3-1 to Flores. And that one
That'll do it.
misses for ball 4. So Flores has to wait one more pitch before he makes his way down to first base. So far, no movement from the Buckeye dugout.
Now batting for Wolverines, number 55.
And there it is.
Yeah, they're going to go to Jake Johnson here. One of their better relievers. It's not very often that you see someone other than the manager do the pitching changes. Bill Mosiello kind of cedes this opportunity to Coach Allen.
And Coach Allen is the pitching coach, so but again, that's something you typically see from the head honcho. So like you said, Zach, that'll be Jake Johnson, the righty from Medina, Ohio. We'll give Jake Johnson a couple of pitches to get loose here. We'll be back in just a few moments from Bill Davis Stadium. You're tuned into WCBN Sports, listening to Michigan Baseball. So Jake Johnson's all ready to go. Zach, tell us something here about Jake Johnson, the righty. 2 down with Voigt up. Voigt swings on the first pitch. That's popped up into shallow left. High pop up, but it's hauled in for out number 3 of the inning. That'll take us to the bottom of the 8th. You're tuned into Michigan Baseball on WCBN Sports. Welcome back to Bill Davis Stadium. You're listening to WCBN Sports. My name's Kelin Flynn. Zach Linfield to my right. It's 9-3, all Buckeyes. Walker Cleveland on the bump here in the bottom of the 8th. First pitch swung on and driven to center. Kim back to the warning track where he hauls it in for the first out. First pitch swing in there from Nick Irwin.
Jonathan Kim, he's just like so pleasant to watch in center field. He plays so smooth. His lateral quickness is there. He plays up and down super well. And he's going to be a mainstay for Michigan here for the next couple of years.
Smooth was exactly the word I was going to use. That brings up Caden Kaiser. First pitch called strike. Kaiser's worked 2 walks today. Second pitch misses for ball 1.
He's not getting the trigger on the curveball. He's thrown a couple really close. He hasn't gotten the cigar from our home plate umpire today.
Kim on the move again. That one's going to bounce off the wall and get past him. Flores has to come in to grab it. And that'll be an easy stand-up double for Caden Kaiser for his first hit of the evening.
And just as I say it, Jonathan Kim playing super well out in center field. He took not a great angle to that ball in the deepest part of left center. He wasn't going to get there. It was hit on a rope off the bat of Kaiser. But it just kind of took a weird hop off the wall. It didn't hit the padding because the wall in the outfield here at Bill Davis Stadium is padded. It hit right underneath it, and it shot back towards the middle of the outfield on a really hard hop.
Quick pickoff attempt back towards second with Pederini up now.
They almost got him, too.
Pederini's been great today with his home run. Drove in 2. Cleveland delivers, and that's going to be ripped. Fielded by Van Remortel. Close play at first, and they got him. So 2
That's
down.
a really tough play for Walker Cleveland to make, and that was right in the zone, we'll call it, for Van Remortel because he had to sprint over to his right plate on the backhand. I think if he goes over to first base, Ted Burton makes that play with ease. Nonetheless, Walker Cleveland, it's a tougher play to make for him because he's trying to locate the ball, catch the ball on the run, and also find the bag. And his foot wasn't in a great location there. He stepped right on the middle of the bag. Lucky Pederini missed him.
2 down, runner on third as Trey Lipsy takes a called first strike. Lipsy's been fantastic today. 3 for 4 A double away from the cycle. Singled in the second, homered in the fifth, tripled in the sixth. Rips that one foul. 0-2. Quick hole now for Lipsy.
And we know he can get a hold of one. I think it just kind of depends on where Walker puts it. And if it's anywhere middle in, expect Lipsy to take a big old rip at it.
That one's going to be ripped to short, fielded cleanly, and rifled to Van Remortel by Jeffries.
He got it right at the middle in, exactly where he wanted it, but he was late.
So Michigan gets out unscathed there. We're going to head to the top of the ninth. Wolverines' last chance to break back into this ball game. Buckeyes up 9-3. You're listening to Michigan Baseball on WCBN Sports. Top of the ninth, last chance for Michigan. After dropping game one 7-3, they're in a 9-3 hole here. Joey Velasquez steps up for the Wolverines. He's ready to do battle against the righty Jake Johnson. Johnson's first pitch in there for a called strike. Zach, now would you like to tell us something
Yeah, we didn't have
about
much
Jake
time.
Johnson?
Yeah, 1-0 record on the season, 18 and 2/3 innings pitched. Strikeout number 17 to 10 walks for Jake Johnson.
Velasquez rifles that one foul. It was well hit, just really pulled it.
We peer into the on-deck circle. Trevor Kalinsky just stepped into that spot for Michigan.
He'll be filling in for Sotrace. The 0-2. And that's going to be lifted to right center field. See ya. That's a solo shot for Velasquez.
Well, if you wanted to get something started here in the ninth inning, I'd say that's the way to do it.
First home run of the day for Velasquez, fourth of the season. The Buckeyes and the Wolverines, I believe that is home run number 6 of the game for both teams. So Velasquez does it himself to add 1 to the tally for Michigan. Cuts the lead to 5. That brings up Kalinsky. Johnson delivers off the plate, ball 1.
And how about that for the hometown kid, Joey Velasquez from Columbus? Nice little homecoming for him.
Yeah, 2-sport athlete at Michigan, a linebacker on the football team, and
Special teams ace.
mashes baseballs and plays right field for the baseball team. 2-0 to Kalinsky. Johnson sets, delivers. Can't find the zone again. 3-0 now.
Remember, Johnson threw just one pitch to Mitch Voigt in the top of the 8th inning and got out of the frame. One pitch, 1 strike, home run to Velasquez, and now 3 consecutive balls.
That time finds the zone. 3-1. Buckeyes with One arm getting loose in their bullpen. The 3-1. That's swung on and lifted to right. Looking back, up over the wall. That's gone. Back-to-back home runs for Michigan. And Kalinsky has his second home run of the season. 2 hits, 2 home runs this year for Trevor Kalinsky. How about that?
The last one came on Sunday. Waited all the way until last Sunday for his first hit. A home run to right field at Ray Fisher. Now a home run here at Nick Swisher Field. And, I mean, if Joey Velasquez, the home run off his bat, wasn't a sign that maybe Michigan's got a jolt here in the 9th inning, maybe Trevor Kalinsky's is the one that would lift Michigan to some kind of confidence here in the 9th inning.
And that's going to be it for Jake Johnson today. He comes in and gives up back-to-back home runs in the 9th before the plug is pulled. Sean Allen had seen enough. Buckeyes going to make a change with Jonathan Kim at the plate. One of the best freshmen in the conference. It's Kim, and then we head to the top of the order with Jeffress. So we'll take a quick step away, and we'll be back in just a moment for Jonathan Kim. Welcome back to Bill Davis Stadium, Nick Swisher Field. Michigan back-to-back home runs by way of Trevor Kalinsky, and before that, Joey Velasquez, the 2 lefties, back-to-back jacks. Velasquez goes to right center, and Kalinsky goes to left. That triggers a pitching change from the Buckeyes. Logan Jones, the redshirt freshman from Canton, Ohio, steps in. Zach?
He had no record on the season, 8 2/3 innings pitched. He's doubled his strikeout numbers in comparison to his walks, 12-6. His ERA is just north of 4, but his whip is at 1.63. So Jonathan Kim is a good batter for Michigan to get them started down by 4. And you peer into the on-deck circled and who's in the hole. It's right now Jonathan Kim, Jeffress Burton, and then the man of 2 home runs yesterday, Jimmy Obertop.
It's essentially the top of the order for Michigan with Kim in the 9th spot.
That's where he started this year, and he just tore up everybody that he batted against. And now he's pretty much a mainstay at the 3-hole.
Kim to do battle against Jones. First pitch is swung on and driven into foul territory.
Only 1 at-bat today for Kim. And he drove in a runner back in the 7th inning. Got called on for Jake Marty after Greg Pace Jr. started the game in center. And then Kim shot one into right center to score a run to give the Wolverines their 3rd.
The 0-1 is swung on and missed by Kim. He wanted to keep that party going.
Oh, yeah, he went for the back-to-back-to-back jacks.
None down. Michigan down 4, 9-5. 0-2 hole for Jonathan Kim in the top of the 9th. Kim puts some topspin on that one, and it goes straight to the second baseman, Irwin. So he'll ground out to second for out number 1. Buckeyes 2 outs away from securing their 2nd win of the series and grabbing their 8th conference win on the season.
Speaking of the number 8, their win streak would pop up to 8 as well, which would be their longest of the year. Right now, number 7 is the highest of the year that they had back in late March, early April. They're at 7 right now with a win against Iowa, a couple of non-con wins, and then a sweep of UNC Greensboro last weekend.
Check swing did not go. Is the call from David Ewell down at third. Cody Jeffress, 0 for 4 on the day. Couple of strikeouts. Looking to provide some offense here in the top of the ninth. Second pitch slides by for ball 2.
Remember, we talked about it yesterday with Cody Jeffress. He's been a bit reluctant to swing. He's checked his bat a lot, and I think he got lucky on that call there on the first pitch of this AB.
The 2-0. And that finds the zone 2-1. You just said reluctant to swing the bat. Lets a strike slide by. Good pitch there from Logan Jones. Jones sets and fires. Inside. 3-1 hitters count for Jeffress.
Yeah, favorable now for Cody. If he can get on base, you've got Ted Burton coming to the plate, and then Jimmy. Then Jack Vandermortel has got some power in his bat. Be ready for a swing here on 3-1, Kelin.
The delivery. And he walked him. Jeffress thought about it for a second. Holds that bat back.
And remember, he got pulled back into the batter's boxes last time up by Michael Schultz, the home plate umpire. He wanted to make sure this one was ball 4.
That brings up the red-hot Ted Burton. Burton homered in the third today. 2-run blast. Got the Wolverines on the board. The first pitch swung on and
He just
sent back
swings the
into
bat
netting.
hard, doesn't he?
He does. He's got 13 home runs on the season. 2 for 4 with a double and a home run. 1 down, 1 runner on for Michigan, the 0-1. Upstairs, count is even at 1 apiece.
He's waiting on his pitch. Ohio State's got an arm. Kind of just relaxing down there in the bullpen. He's up, but not much throwing going on.
The 1-1 cut on, and
Man,
boy, did Burton want that one.
that's the second curveball this inning that has gone right by a Michigan bat. Jonathan Kim was the first for his second strike, and Ted Burton for his second. So we have a bit of a trend going on right now from our new pitcher, Logan Jones.
The 1-2. Off the dish. They didn't want to. Was really just hoping Burton would chase there. Disciplined eye from the senior.
That's definitely not where Cole Andrews wanted that pitch. He wanted it a lot closer to the outside part of the plate. Wait for a breaking ball here, too, if you're Ted.
The 2-2. That swung on and popped into foul territory. And that'll be hauled in for out number 2 by Caden Kaiser. Camped under it in the brown turf just outside the Michigan dugout. Burton was really hoping that was going to tail into the netting.
Yeah, it just kind of stopped, didn't it?
Michigan down to their last out. 9-5 here at Bill Davis Stadium. 1 runner on first, and Cody Jeffress, Jimmy Obertop at the dish. The first pitch. In for a called strike.
We've seen Jimmy take the first pitch quite a bit throughout his career at Michigan. Wants to see one. Now wait for the curveball here on strike 2.
Jones delivers. Off the plate there. That was a real tight call.
Man.
Michael Schultz waited a second.
He's been consistent, hasn't he?
He has. Buckeye crowd not too happy about that one. The 1-1 to Obertop. Again misses.
That one a bit more outside than the previous. But remember, he's continued to get strike 2 in this appearance for Logan Jones here in the 9th on the curveball, but he hasn't thrown one yet to Jimmy.
Jimmy's been sitting on him today. The 2-1 finds the zone. 2-2 now to Obertop.
He threw in a slider there, and it just kind of glided past the zone and right into the corner, and that kind of tricked Michael Schultz behind the plate.
Buckeye crowd's on their feet. Michigan down to their last strike. 2-2 count. 2 outs. The pitch. And that's fouled off. We'll do it again.
Yeah, back to the fastball there for Jones.
Overtop 1 for 4 on the day, 3 strikeouts and a single. OHIO chants echoing throughout Bill Davis Stadium. The 2-2 from Logan Jones.
Man, he got the slider called last time. This one just tailed outside the zone.
Real delayed call there. Count is full. 3-2. Whole crowd's on their feet. Logan Jones takes a peek at his pitch com. Obertop hangs in there. Jeffress is going to take off. He walked him. So that'll put 2 runners on now for Michigan as Obertop works a walk.
That's just a good at-bat from Jimmy Obertop. And I mean, Michael Schultz may have squeezed Logan Jones there twice, but he got the benefit of the doubt on strike 1. Jack Vandermoortel's got to look to be aggressive here in the count. It's been fastball, 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 fastball to these Michigan hitters from Logan Jones on the first pitch. And majority of them have been strikes.
The first pitch to Vandermoortel in there for a called strike.
Fastball for a called strike right down the middle, and Michigan takes every time.
Vandermoortel 0 for 3 on the day. Couple of strikeouts, drew a walk in his last at-bat. The 0-1 swung on, and that's going to be popped up in foul territory, tailing toward the netting. It's not going to get there. That'll do it. Cole Andrews heads over toward the Michigan dugout, and the Buckeyes finish this one on top. Michigan will strand 2 after 2 home runs in the bottom of the 9th. Your final from Bill Davis Stadium in game 2 of 3 for the final regular season series of the year for the Wolverines. 9 for Ohio State, 5 for the Wolverines. WCBN Sports will have coverage of the series finale tomorrow at 2 p.m. here from Bill Davis Stadium. Zach, any closing thoughts as we wrap this up?
Well, my pregame key of the game for Michigan was your starting pitching's got to come out strong, and your offense has to play well in the early innings. We look out to the scoreboard in right field, and yeah, Michigan had 2 runs in the 3rd off the bat of Ted Burton on 1 swing, but you can't put all your eggs in one basket with the long ball. You just can't do that, and especially a series with a rival, that's just not the way that you're going to win a ball game. You went down 4-0 early, you got 2 back, but then Ohio State scored 4 unanswered until the 7th inning. That's just not a recipe for success to win ball games.
Well, for my partner, Zach Linfield, and myself, Kelin Flynn, thank you so much for tuning in to WCBN Sports live coverage of Michigan baseball. We hope to have you joining us tomorrow for the series finale, the last game of the regular season for Michigan. With that, we're going to leave you as we always do with a good night and go blue.